In 2020, four friends decided to listen to every one of the greatest 500 albums as decided by Rolling Stone magazine. This resulted in a text chain that celebrated the music excoriated the order and led us to making this podcast. We are far from experts. We promise to do almost no research. All opinions are our own unless you disagree. Please sit back and enjoy. Beck did it better. We are all the way up to album 113.
113.
From 1986. This is The Queen is Dead by the Smiths. And I can tell you at this moment... What?
He's dead?
I can tell you at this moment, there has never been a harder album to research than this one. This is almost impossible.
You know what's been a real bummer about the Queen dying and what didn't happen, what happened in the movies?
What's that?
In the movies, the whole royal family died and John Goodman became King Ralph. You guys remember King Ralph?
Yes.
I told my son that story as a bedtime story the other night. I'm fully out of ideas for bedtime stories, and I just told him the plot of King Ralph as a bedtime story. He liked it.
Duke of Earl, Duke of Earl.
When the Queen did die, I posted on Facebook. Can't believe the Queen died taking a photo, and all of her relatives also got electrocuted. And I got like 2 likes, and I was like, yes, these guys know King Ralph. They know him.
The only guy in the world who could be the king and Babe Ruth in back-to-back movies, right?
I forgot he was Babe Ruth in a movie too. Wow. Watching him.
Listen, one of the things about this podcast that always amazes me, guys, is that we always seem to find a running joke. Okay. And I'm always thinking to myself, what would happen to an episode if we didn't find that? And then we did that Janet Jackson episode 2 weeks ago, and it turns out it wasn't that bad. Like we still survived. We couldn't quite find it. But this is one of the biggest things of the podcast is finding a bit. So I've written a song, okay, or I've heard that there's a song playing on the radio that's about that very topic. This is weird, guys. It's all collapsing on itself. Let's listen to it right now. What will be the running joke tonight? Will it be too dirty with some beeps, or is it about a flight? Will we take it too far?
Yes.
And then we have to edit whole chunks because we talk about a sex move where imagine she gets between the mattress and the box spring. What would be the running joke tonight? Well, if we don't have one, I don't even know if we can survive. Aaron will say something bizarre, and then we can all make fun. And then I will have to apologize for things I've said before.
It's not even a joke here. It's tell the truth.
So I'm counting on you, Russ. Find a running bit for us.
Yes.
You need to decide, and then I'll take it over the line. If it gets a few cheap yucks, if I start to cuss, so keep it in your mind. We need to find the bit, the repeating bit tonight.
The repeating bit.
Repeating bit tonight. Repeating bit tonight. Like Aaron loves feet, we could bring back the
When
part
you want to hear about the greatest albums of all time,
that's a good bit to repeat
but you're just
forever.
look it up online. If you want to
So it turns out on that one I forgot to do the DJ drop beforehand. I don't know if you noticed that. Whoops.
I've got the perfect podcast for you, Jack.
Beck did
There
it
is a
better.
bit that'll never get old. There is a bit that'll never get old.
I remember when Matt said one of the dumbest things he's ever said in his whole life. And he goes, I don't think that foot stuff is very funny. And I was like, oh, you just don't get it. Everyone thinks it's funny.
Misunderstood.
I think
It's
he
so
said it was
good.
played. I think you had played out at that point.
Well, we all make mistakes and are totally wrong sometimes. Listen,
I think that was by like the 3rd Joni Mitchell album. I legit think that was 114 episodes ago.
oh, now you guys are going to tell me that when I play Blue, that's not very funny either? Because I get a lot of texts about that too. Holy shit, when that remake came out, I got so many. Listen, I've got 3 guys here who we're going to, you know what? We're going to get a little sad with the Smiths. So we're not going to lie. This is not going to be a fun episode. We're going to be bummed out. And that's the way Morrisey would like it, honestly. He'd be excited about that. I've got Russell in Minnesota. Russell, how are you doing tonight?
Frankly, Rob, since you ask, you're a flatulent pain in my arse. I don't mean to be rude. Still, I must speak frankly, Mr. Skanky.
Matt in Minneapolis. Matt, how are you doing tonight?
Good. We're doing band from Manchester, England, right? So I figured this is good. We just some random band. It's got some random songs. We might as well start assigning them to the Minnesota Loons that their new goal song, right? So I mean, might as well just an English band. Let's just randomly make a goal song out of it. So I'm excited to pick. We'll pick it out later, okay? All right, it'll be
Queen
good.
is dead. Yes.
The Vikings score a touchdown, and it's just like
it's really not
no connection to us at all or anything. So we might, but they're English, so we might as well just.
It's so good.
Do it.
It's like, oh, it's a song about dirt getting thrown on me. Again, there's like 4 songs in this album about dirt getting thrown on him. I've got Aaron in California, actually. And Aaron is realizing that life is depressing because when his kid turns 18, getting him, buying him extra iCloud storage is actually going to be a pretty sweet gift. He's going to enjoy that quite a bit. So that's your life now. Aaron, how are you doing?
Wow, that's too real. I mean, if a double-decker bus crashes into us, to die by your side would be a heavenly way to die. So let's talk about this.
Oh.
It's just a single level bus. And Aaron's like, fuck. I was hoping for something bigger. It's true though, isn't it? Like, listen, let's get into our voicemail.
Oh, we got a voicemail. A Bext or a voicemail?
It is a Bext.
How do you send a Bext? I forgot.
218. No, wait, 802-277 back. That's 802-277 back. Don't try to type in every 218 number and eventually hit maybe somebody with a voice you would recognize. Oh, yeah.
One of your dumb shit listeners here, also part of the complimentary moviegoer group. A full-bodied red with a fruity finish sounds like Rob after too many figs. The fact that you guys had fucked me like Clubber Lang. And it's greater than Ben Roth, Les Burgers, dick in the same episode as pure genius. Keep up the great ish work. Lastly, Radiohead still sucks.
So there we go. That caller, first of all, said fruity finish, something about me eating too many figs, which would never happen because I would never eat a fig. Ugh, gross.
I did purchase Fig Newtons at the airport on my flight back from Nashville last week.
How were they?
Russell, I'm serious. Do you need some money? I can loan you some money if you want.
They were good.
You're buying Fig Newtons at the airport? Did an alarm go off? And they were like, wow, we've been waiting since 1986 for somebody to buy the Fig Newtons.
They finally sold the Fig Newton.
Russell, they're not good. They're not cookies. I don't know if you're aware of this. There was an ad campaign that highlighted that.
You know what? I'm Team Russell on this one.
Yeah, Fig Newtons.
Russell, I'm Team Russell. I'll eat some Fig Newtons any day. I think they're good.
Gross. Ugh. Fig Newtons. I remember that.
The listener was proud we got Ben Roethlisberger and the Clubber Lang into the same episode, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's got to make you feel good about yourself, doesn't it? This is what we're accomplishing.
That's the thing is that people are always like, oh, you should do this with the podcast and do this and do that. No, I want somebody who talks about who listens to us talking about Ben Roethlisberger's great penis, which, by the way, is in a court document legally. It's a real thing. And Clubber Lang. And then saying, this is good. I like this. Enough where they send a message. That's our real audience. Now, if only that guy could like tell somebody about it, but they can't because they're also the audience for this dumb podcast. So they're too embarrassed to admit.
They probably don't have any friends.
Yeah, exactly. They can't admit. You can't be like, hey, what podcast do you listen to? Oh, listen to this one. And immediately we're talking about Ben Roethlisberger's great dick again. And actually the second episode in a row we recorded tonight where we've started talking with great dicks. Does it
shock you that guy who's into this part of the comedy portion of the podcast was also part of the complimentary movie group when he was a kid?
Absolutely not, because when I got that text, I saw his texts from the last 2 years, and half of them were just pictures of his feet. So literally, this is our super fan. We should be sucking up to complimentary movie guy. He needs to get some more devices and download it on all of his different streaming services. But other than that, I love the guy. I think it's great. The Fig Newton ad campaign, I want to get back to that. First of all, Fig Newtons are disgusting. You're wrong. Aaron, do you think they're good?
I haven't had one for many years.
Thank you. End of story. No. Be nice. That's it. That's done. Their ad campaign where they were like, it's not a cookie, it's a Fig Newton, was the most confusing ad campaign to me because I was like, who would want something that's not a cookie? That's crazy, right? Like if you said, oh, I don't want that, it's a cookie. Like everybody wants a cookie over anything else.
But I think there's a chance a kid could make an argument that a Fig Newton is healthier than a cookie, even though it's not. But it's not a cookie. Like a cookie is a pure dessert thing. Where I think you could argue a Fig Newton might not be considered a dessert. What do you think, Matt?
That's the whole argument, right?
Yeah.
Like you would say, I'm going to have a cookie tonight, right? And you're like, no, I guess I'm not having my cookie tonight. I'm having my Fig Newton.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Take the night off.
it's kind of like you're not having ice cream, you're having sherbet or whatever it is, you know? It's not ice cream, it's sherbet.
Is that what that ad was? Is that you should eat more Fig Newtons because they're not cookies?
Yeah. You don't have to feel bad about them. They're not cookies. So
Why?
it's not like you're having a sleeve of Oreos or anything. You just a bunch of Fig Newtons.
This podcast has made me realize I might have just been a dumb kid. Like that might be, has that ever occurred to you that maybe you were just dumb? I'm just like, all this stuff you didn't understand. Like,
Rob, if you look around the room and you can't figure out who's the dumbest, it's probably you.
It's probably you were the guy who called in and left that last voicemail.
Yeah.
yeah, really, we're making this trash, but you're listening to it, you idiot.
I generally realize I'm the dumbest one when I look at my computer and it's 11:30 on a Sunday night and I'm starting to record a second podcast.
No, this is good.
When you listen back to this podcast, you'll be like, I think I was just a dumb middle-aged guy. Now, when you're 80 years old and you're listening, I
way.
think I might have been dumb at that
There's
time.
no way that freaking 70-year-olds are smarter than we are right now. We're at the peak. We really
You
are.
think we're at the peak?
I mean, that's fucking half of Congress. I would hope they're smarter than they're not, but yeah.
Let me ask you this, Russell. Do you feel like
More
you're
than
getting
half of
smarter?
Congress.
Do you feel like you're getting smarter every day from here on out? Like you're learning from your mistakes?
I think I'm smarter than I was 3 years ago, but it's hard to know 3 years from now if I'll be smarter or dumber. I think there's a chance I'll be dumber.
You know what change I've made is that I've just taken all the mistakes I make and I just go, well, it's too late to change now. And I just keep doing them. Like, I'm not changing anything, not trying to get any better at anything. I'm just like, yep, this is good. This is my life now. This is who I am. Like,
You can't, you can't fix it.
At work, you know what my bit is at work? I'm the guy who doesn't read emails very well. And like I said, I got rewarded for that. Everybody like explains stuff to me and I'm just like, yeah, I'm rolling with it now. That my mistakes are now my personality. So like,
but see, that's where I think, like I was going to say, I feel like I'm getting wiser, maybe not so much smarter. Like Rob, that's a wise move to just do that with your emails. Yeah. But
yes.
the dumbest thing I do on a weekly basis is stay up extremely late talking to you guys doing this podcast. That is one of the dumbest things I do in my life.
Well, and it's fucked too, because like when you're younger, if you stay up late, it's like, oh, you're cranky the next day, you're tired. When you're guys our age, it's like, oh, this increases your risk for heart issues. It's like, well,
Jesus.
Sarah and I went out for our anniversary. Went out in the town for our anniversary last night. And I legit was like getting tired. I'm like, oh, geez, I wonder what time it is. I looked down, it was like 8:17. I'm like, good God, we are fucking old.
Yeah.
But you made it out. You were out. We got messages from you as late as what? 11.
Yeah, we were all
Central.
late. We made a night of it.
Nice
Went to
work.
Russell's pinball bar, which was hopping. Played a little Paperboy. Played a little.
Wow.
Paperboy.
Yeah, they have the arcade game Paperboy. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's a great one.
What else did you play, Matt?
Not the band Paperboy, which Rob is playing over the top of this.
Oh,
not
no.
Not
Something
Doolittle
about a
Diggy.
ditty, right?
Diddy, if you want to, because damn, I can see
The arcade game.
Want to. Now you got to try to line up my voice with the song. Too.
The only reason I say that about Paperboy is I used to play Paperboy and Nintendo all the time.
Yep.
And it was the hardest fucking game. It was so hard that I was watching TikTok the other day and it said, have you ever seen the end of Paperboy? And I was like, oh, hell yeah, this is what TikTok is for. And I just watched like 30 seconds to the end of the game Paperboy because I had never ever seen it before.
That Paperboy song, that guy was not from Minnesota, was he? But that was a Minnesota hit. Like, I didn't know that song until I lived in Minnesota. And everyone in Minnesota, everybody in Minnesota knows that song.
This is Calm Coming from
Little
the
Ditty.
Nine Deuce. Another fat track. This is a great song. We should pull this up now, bro. We should
Okay,
do a
what
whole
is it?
video. We should do a whole
Do the
video
ditty,
breakdown of this.
Paperboy.
The ditty.
I'm going to keep talking about the video game.
I gotta be honest, I
Paperboy
never
song?
owned Paperboy on Nintendo. You guys know I'm a judger. I kind of always judge the kids who had Paperboy as a Nintendo game. I thought that's a weak game. Like, you should be playing
It was
Tecmo
fun.
Bowl. There's so many better games than
You're
Paperboy.
right.
I was never a... If you had
You're right.
Paperboy at your house for Nintendo, get the fuck out. I'm out.
Yes.
This is a jam.
Such a jam.
So many women wanna date me and make a man say, damn. I finally texted more than your nigga Sam.
Now let me speak a little weight. I mean the rookies. My time is held up extremely.
I have never heard this in my life.
He's from San Diego, California. Later moved to Oakland.
Oh, really? He's from San Diego. Not a lot of rappers from San Diego.
Associate acts were R. Kelly, Eazy-E, and Rhythm D.
Wow. Yeah, this was
1990.
Everybody in Minnesota knew that one, and I didn't hear it in Iowa. Such a jam.
What else did you play, Matt? So you played Paperboy? Did you play pinball, or what else?
Played a little Simpsons because Sarah used to play that with her stepdad back in the day.
Okay.
And I think I caught a glitch. I was playing with Maggie, who has like a jump rope or something.
Yep.
Every time I died, still have four. It still said 4 up. To the point where I literally just walked away from the machine because I'm like, I'm sick of playing this thing. And so just left it. So somebody's probably got the new world record. And then we played some skee ball.
Nice.
A little skee ball.
Game.
It was good.
So let me ask you, Matt, when you play skee ball, are you a throw it as hard as you can, bounce it off the net guy?
I'm a finesse
You're a
guy,
finesser?
I got 290. That was my score. And everybody was very impressed with me.
That's really impressive.
That's
I watched my kids play skee ball, and it was one of the most embarrassing moments of my parenting ever. They couldn't even roll it to get it under the slot. Like they would roll it and it would bounce and hit the net and then come back. And I was like, how can you not even roll a skee ball? You're idiots.
So at what point do kids get over the hump? Because I've been out with my nieces and nephews, and they're probably between that 5 to 7 year old range. And at about 5 to 6, that can be a dangerous thing for a kid to throw one of those ski, because it's never going up the ramp like you said, Rob. It's like slamming against the plastic. It's flying all over.
It's an American Funniest Home Video. It's an American Funniest Home Video. You getting hit in the nuts with a skee ball is just it's inevitable.
But they learn quick. I can tell you this because the Lawrence Hall of Science on the Cal Berkeley campus right now has a whole exhibit devoted to games. And so it's basically a free arcade because we're members there. So they have skee ball and Pop-A-Shot and some other things. And the first time we went to do the skee ball, it was exactly that, Russell. I was terrified. Like the kid was just flinging the thing all over.
And that's like a croquet ball. That would hurt.
And all you have to do is roll it. I was telling my kids, I was like, you just roll it. And
that's
they can't
the problem,
do it.
They can't roll it. It ends up bouncing up there.
God.
But by the second time we went, he had it down, and now he's pretty decent at skee ball. He's still only 5. They learn fast, but it's scary as shit the first time.
Aaron, you say others. Give me 2 other games that are at this. Actually, let us guess. If there's Pop-A-Shot basketball and skee ball, I'm going to guess, if it wasn't California, I would say there's the old rifle shooting a BB game, where it's like the old.
Oh, yeah.
Like when I went down to Daytona, that was in the arcade, and my kids were like, what the fuck is this game? It's like a real gun and you're shooting stuff. I was like, well, yeah. What else do you think was there, Russell?
How about a whack-a-mole? A whack-a-mole game?
Ooh, that'd be a good one. No,
that would be a good one.
That'd be a good one. Well, there's pinball. There's some mini golf, and then there's another game where it's like you launch a ball toward a target on a rail kind of thing. So you pull back out.
Any foosball? There's no foosball, is there?
I don't think so. No,
that's not really an arcade. Air hockey. There's an arcade one.
That's scary. That's also a scary one. You can get blood blisters from that one.
Oh, we used to have an air hockey table at my house, and I knew just how to hit it and flick it. So it would come about 3 inches off the table, and I just fucking drill my sister's hands all the time. Like she would be terrified to play against me because I would just chip it into her hands. At the time, I thought it was the funniest thing in the world, and now I realize why my parents were always mad.
Did you guys ever do the thing at the Pop-A-Shot where you would sneak in between the machines and then you would just hit and you'd tap the bottom of the net with your hand so it showed like that you got like 400 baskets in a minute and a half or whatever?
I did not know you could do that.
Oh,
just so many tickets.
I think I learned that from one of the guys who complimentary movie.
Complimentary movie club.
You get like 1 million tickets. You go out there and they're like, oh,
It's time to
wow, you can pick from any of these erasers.
It's time for Rolling Going.
All right, let's get into Rolling Going. Russell, Rolling Going, how's it going with you?
Rolling Going. Things are going good. I know I was in Nashville probably about a month ago for work. I told you about some of my Nashville escapades, specifically finding all of the Euro stands. But when I was down, and I actually had to go to Nashville again for another work trip. So I've been in Music City for about 10 days, over a month. So I've almost hit my limit of how much time one person can spend in Nashville. But do you guys, I was going to ask you, I've got really into one specific song. Do you guys ever get into like one song and you listen to it over and over for weeks upon weeks?
Absolutely.
The time.
So the song that I got really into over the last probably 2 months now is Troubadour by George Strait. I can't stop listening to it. I listen to it over and over. Rob, maybe you could pull it
I
up.
don't know this one.
And pretty women.
Kind of a country ballad, country hit here. Here comes the chorus coming up. Chorus is coming up here.
If you watch this video, it's exactly what Russell looks like right now.
Yes.
Still trying to make a name.
So I just got really into this song Troubadour. And so when I was in Nashville, I've probably requested this at about 10 bars over the last month now.
Are we going to do Russell's Venmo receipts?
Please.
Do
We are doing Russell's Venmo receipts tonight again.
Oh my God.
But so
We need a
I
sting
went
for
to
that.
all these bars and they kept not knowing Troubadour. I'm like, how can you not know? Like, if you're an acoustic guitar player in Nashville, you've got to be able to play Troubadour. You have to, don't you?
I've got a friend, Mike from Edina, who has every single CD. There's like 38 CDs by George. He's still buying CDs just to have the collection. So I've heard George Strait my whole life, and I've never heard this song before. By George Strait. Yeah,
Everyone has to check it out. So
Yeah.
do you guys want to play the game of check out Russell's Venmo in Nashville or not?
Yeah.
let's do it. But here, Rosie, what is your song you listen to right now?
Well, right now,
Over and over.
Yeah, right now I've been listening to "The Creator Has a Master Plan" by Pharoah Sanders.
We're going to go, oh my God. Okay, so first of all,
yeah, just it's long. It's 32
the song
minutes
is 32 minutes long.
It's a whole side of an
Video
album.
breakdown. Here we go.
Well, it's not going to be a video for it.
Aaron just gave us a 32-minute song that he's addicted to.
Yeah, but you got to. I mean, actually, if you hear the opening notes, then you can really hear what
shakers
Pharaoh's real sound
Let's
is
go to the
like.
opening notes.
I mean, this is the greatest tenor sound
Sounds
ever.
like the Jessica Rabbit scene.
I do like the sound.
And then you guys know I love Pharoah Sanders.
Okay, I don't want to talk about what song is stuck in my head because I feel so stupid after Aaron says Pharoah
Just do
Sanders,
it.
the creator of
Own
the
it.
master plan.
Own it.
I think I'm dumb, guys. I
No,
do
you're
now.
not.
No.
I'm into Troubadour.
Yeah, but that's like a song nobody's ever heard of, apparently. Like, that's... You guys are like picking this cool stuff.
Rob, what's your song you're listening to all the time now?
Oh, well, it's never changed. I heard this the other day, and I had to listen to the whole thing again. I mean, there's just one jam out there,
Oh yeah, this is a great bass line.
and it's D-Light, Groove is in the Heart, who's only mentioned the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. I checked for the whole
I
thing.
mean, if you don't have like early 90s
Lockout
NBA
music.
All-Stars coming out to the All-Star game with this song, I mean, get out of here, right? This is perfect.
I mean, this is, I think, a perfect song.
And from the Chicago Bulls, Scottie Pippen.
I do want to point out this song is a 10th of the length of Aaron's song that he picked. It's a 10th.
Hey, that sounds like a familiar relationship between you guys too, isn't it, Rob? A 10th as long.
Yes, that's it.
Yes,
I have a smaller penis and I'm dumber than
I
Aaron.
made my family listen to Pharoah Sanders all day yesterday. It wasn't a popular choice, but some of it's difficult music to hear.
Do you think that's why I make fun of Aaron so much? Is because I know he's better than me?
I don't think that's really true. I don't think that's. What's Matt's current obsession?
Matt, what's your
listening to
current
all the
song
time?
obsession?
I always have 3 or 4, but the one I've listened to a lot
This is all I can
is
think
Southern Cross by Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
This is some yacht rock, it looks like to me.
Oh,
you
wow,
gotta get
right.
to-
Driving a yacht. Or a sailboat.
Yeah.
Did not think
Wait till
Crosby,
it
Stills, and
kicks
Nash
in.
had a yacht video.
Oh, nice harmonies though. I like that.
This is a banger of a chorus, though. Matt, you're right.
Yeah. Well, it's getting there. My Old Soul's Warning by The Killers. Here it comes. Here you go. Here it goes.
Oh, they're wailing.
Ooh, man.
You got the video where they're in the dark. It's kind of, it feels a little bit like a Bohemian Rhapsody there a little bit.
This is a banger, man.
That
Nice
is
job.
a sailboat.
Hold on right here. Hold on. Get ready. It gets better. Turn it up, Rob. Just driving around listening to this song.
Matt, you make me want to
Looking
listen
for
to the
that
yacht rock.
woman girl. Yeah.
We should have some of those dumb shit Baxters. They should text in or Bext in or call us and let us know what song they're listening to over and over. I'd love to hear it.
Well, I told you guys that when I have nothing to listen to, I put on Steve Winwood radio on Apple. Okay, and it's just all songs like that, and that song comes on like fourth every time, and I'm like, God, this is a great song.
Yes,
Start listening to it. So that's the one I've been hammering lately.
Listen, what song are you currently listening to? What is your obsession? It's 802-277-BECK. Text it in. Let us know. You can do it right now. Just sitting there. What do you think? And plus, or you can make fun of Aaron too. That's something that cool, smart people are doing. Actually, it's me and Albert Einstein.
All right, Russell, let's hear these receipts now.
I made some requests, I think, earlier. I'd probably used a little bit of cash, but I actually was at this bar. I was at Tootsie's Orchid Lounge. It's one of the famous bars right in Nashville. It was at the upper level listening to a band. And I ended up getting a table kind of right up next to the stage.
You got a table?
The best spot.
Yes.
I watched someone leave and I was like, I zeroed in like, man, I could see you being good at this. When you see a table open up in a prime spot, there's just a way to maneuver to get to that and take down.
You better believe it.
Because it makes the whole night so much more fun, doesn't it?
Can I tell you, Russell, when we were in Ireland, we found a spot at the bar right in front of the Irish band. It was like these people would just show up, right, and play their instruments, like their classical Irish instruments. And somebody moved, and we got a spot literally like I could touch them. I could reach out and touch them. And you know what I did that night, Russell? The ultimate baller move. When the band went to get drinks, I bought them for them.
Nice.
And so I had this whole Irish band say thank you to me all night. And I was like, God damn, I should be living in a pub. Right? My dumb ass with my small dick. Like, that's what I should be doing with my life.
Small gray dick.
I love how we're just reinforcing this. Like we talked about how Frank Sinatra got known for being 5 pounds of dick or whatever it was, Rob. Like, Rob is just reinforcing his place in the pantheon here, right? Yes.
It's too late now. It's too late now. I can't reverse
Mount
course.
Dick more or Mount Dick less?
Mount Dickless.
Mount Dickless that I'm just frowning. Aaron's on Mount Dickmore next door. Why did I even
He's
make
just like
this
looking
monument?
down from his castle.
You guys just figured out the shirt. That's the shirt right there. You got Rosie, Mount Dickmore, Rob down here, Mount Dickless.
Hey, get a mouse pad of that.
So before I went to Tootsie's, I went to this place called the Bourbon Street Blues and Boogie Bar, where they've got blues music, rock music. It's a great. I've probably been to this bar 5 times in a month now.
Is that on the Strip or is that in Printer's Alley?
Printer's Alley, so it's kind of off the Strip, probably 3-4 blocks. It's much quieter.
I've been there.
It's great music,
spot,
right?
Yeah.
So one of the coolest things I've ever seen, you guys will get a kick out of this. I didn't want to forget to tell you about it. They did a thing essentially called Amateur Night, where you've got all these musicians come in. Let's say there's about 30 of them. It's on a Monday night, and they put everyone's name in a hat. And they draw 6 names out of a hat, and those 6 musicians come up on the stage, and they've just got to talk to each other for about 30 seconds and be like, what do you guys want to do? And they just start jamming. So like 6 musicians who don't know each other just come up and start killing it on stage, and they'll play for like 2 or 3 songs, and then the MC, depending on how well they do, will come up and kind of usher them off, and then they'll pick 6 new names out of the hat. It was amazing. It was so much fun.
So who calls out the songs? Did I miss that? Who chooses what they play?
They've just got to collaborate up on stage and decide like what the singer can do and what the band members can do, and they just come up with it and they go.
That sounds exciting.
Russell's in the crowd with his saxophone. He's like, please pick me.
So what's the best song you heard then in that format?
Actually, some of the bands were playing some funk music, and "Flashlight" was the song that really blew me away.
Oh, nice! Some Parliament.
Flashlight for sale.
That's so good. I thought they were playing like blues, boogie woogie. I mean, stuff that'd be easier to play.
You had all these different artists, so at some point, like, someone would just kind of take control up there and say, like, this is the direction we're going. And then everyone else would just have to fall in. So you'd have like a saxophone player standing next to a bass player and they've never met before, and 2 guitar players, a keyboard player, 2 lead singers, and they just have to make it happen. And it was one of the best music shows I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, it's all fun.
Rad. That is super cool.
So eventually I make it to Tootsie's Orchid Lounge, the famous country bar, and I'm up. I've got my great table up front, and I'm getting some, songs and probably using a little cash, but at some point we've got to go to the Venmo. So this is another edition of Russ's Venmo receipts.
Oh, I love it.
Oh wait, can I? What's a good song to play? Russell's Venmo receipts.
So generally, to get a song played in Nashville, you need to pay $20. But I decided if I start Venmoing 40, I'm going to get their attention, and they're immediately going to have to play it. They can't put me on pause for 40 minutes. My song's got to come first, right?
Oh, it's the smartest thing I've ever heard, Russell. You're using capitalism.
So the first one was at 12:07 in the AM.
Oh.
It was and here's my new move. I give them options, because if they don't know one, they're just going to skip it. So you got to give them options. So I gave them Troubadour, which I wanted to hear. I gave them Copperhead Road by Steve Earle.
Oh, there you go.
And I gave them Jolene by Dolly Parton. So I gave them three of those hits that they could choose from.
Ooh. And what'd they choose?
They ended up playing Jolene, and they killed it.
Yeah,
It was really
of course.
good.
I mean, they're gonna pick Jolene if you give them that choice. That's a burner.
So that was at 12:05 or so. About 40 minutes later, 12:44 in the AM. At this point,
small hours.
At this point, my request for $40 was 2 of the guitar player's choice. I just wanted the guitar player to pick 2 songs that he could kill, and just let him pick.
What the fuck are you doing, Russell? You're doing $40 to let them choose. That's what they're doing for free, my dude. What's going on?
So it was kind of cool because the guitar, sometimes when you're watching the band and you're like, the guitar player's the star here, right? Like that's the one who's carrying everyone. And the guitar player was just killing it. And I don't quite remember what 2 songs he played, but the cool thing about it is he pivoted. They were playing almost all country. But when he says, well, if it's my choice, we're going to play rock. So he played like 2 alternative rock songs from the 90s. And it just like completely changed the tone of what they were doing up there.
Oh, Russell, you're brilliant.
You found a calling.
So at this point, I'm starting to realize I can't keep doing $40 a pitch here, right? Or eventually it's going to catch up to me. So slightly later at 1:20 in the AM, Venmo receipt. For $20, I asked for Hole, Celebrity Skin, Smashing Pumpkins, or Queen.
Oh, whoa.
There's no way. They didn't do Queen. They didn't do Queen, did they?
Which was kind of a bummer. They did do Queen. They did Fat Bottom Girls. They had a female lead singer and another lead singer, and I thought the female singer, because she was doing some rock, I thought she could maybe do the whole song. And she went, and I could see her talking to the other singer, and he said, let's do Queen, and they did Fat Bottom Girls, which was fun. People had fun, but that's not really what I was hoping for.
Yeah, no, I'd be hoping for the whole, too.
All right, last receipt of the night.
Flip that.
Venmo receipt time, 1:24 in the AM. This looks like it happened about 4 minutes after my other one. Final request of the night for $20. The band is Guns N' Roses. I requested Guns N' Roses. They played Sweet Child of Mine. They killed it. It was a great way to end the night. Yes.
Jesus. Wow. That's ballsy. Oh, my God.
What if they would have played like some shitty, like slow song? That
played Patience or something.
What? No, Patience is really good.
It's slow though.
What's the one where he turns into a dolphin off the Use Your Illusion? That's the one. He's like, this is the one where he turns into a dolphin. We're like, what?
So essentially it was $120 via Venmo to this band. When I probably could have just listened to music for free, but I wanted to hear what I wanted to hear, and I wanted to hear what they wanted to play, and it was a great time.
You're supporting the arts, Russell. You're a true hero.
Yeah,
it's probably more. Hey, it's probably more money than we've contributed to that charity Aaron found us, right?
You're a patron of the arts.
Yeah, just like my license plate.
Matt, rolling going. How's it going with you?
Good. I still haven't figured out. It's been a couple weeks what the flashlights to see Menzies is.
Flashlight. I gotta know what that is.
I know. I do too. I gotta figure it out.
Flashlight to see Menzies.
No, I've been reading this. I've got like 3 books going, which is just how my brain works with books.
That
but so first book is I'm halfway through Dave Grohl's book, his biography. Pretty darn good. It's kind of turning into just a commercial for Dave Grohl, which is interesting.
Yeah, we don't have enough of those out there, do we?
Pretty awesome guy, though.
Yeah, pretty good guy.
You never hear anything about his size, though. There must not be a lot out there, right, Rob? Like, typically, we've heard about everyone else. We've heard about Rob and Sinatra. We haven't heard about Dave Grohl.
Any rumors on the size of Dave Grohl's penis, Rob?
I have not heard. You know my ear is to the ground at all times, and I haven't heard that thing hit the ground yet, so it can't be that big. It is not a Liam Neeson situation.
I've got another book. I forget what it's called. It's about habits or something. It's like the #1 book in the New York Times for a while. It's one of those, not self-help, but one of those kind of nonfiction books on how to do things. And so I've got that, reading that. But then I'm trying to get through and finish. I don't think we've talked about this, but Chuck Klosterman. Do you guys ever read any
absolutely.
of Chuck Klosterman books? I love Chuck Klosterman's books. He's got a book called The 90s, which essentially starts on January 1 of 1990 and is going through it. And it is unbelievable to read. Have you guys picked up this book at all?
I've heard about it. I've heard people really like it.
You guys will absolutely love it if you read it, because it's essentially everything that we went through growing up in the 90s. You know, we're the first people to not have cell phones, but then get internet, and then have cell phones and all through that stuff and stuff. But, you know, one of the one things he's talking about is how CDs have ruined albums. And all these musicians who are before CDs came along don't like CDs at all, because all of a sudden now, instead of having to like cram everything into like 45 minutes or so or less, you know, you can have 75 minutes on a CD, and it completely changed the way things are at. And I thought it was pretty apropos for what we are doing here and a lot of the things that we talk about, but it was just interesting to go through. So do you guys think CDs ruined albums? After reading this, I absolutely think they do. I think you used to have 8 to 10 songs, and they're pretty tight. And if they weren't 8 to 10, there was a couple long ones, like Rosie's just had his 32-minute song. That was side A of an album, right? You know what I mean? That kind of a thing. But all of a sudden, when you can do double discs, and you're throwing all sorts of random songs and things and secret songs and all of that on the back of, you know, I am very nostalgic for the old way of doing albums after kind of reading through all this stuff.
It's funny you mentioned it about CDs, because I've had similar conversations with my brother and some others about streaming, because now you have, like, The Game put out a album that had 30 songs on it. You got people like DJ Khaled's most recent, I think, had like 30 songs, and like stuff that could be 10 or 12 or less. So I hadn't thought of it in the context of CDs, because streaming has made it so much worse.
Yeah. Drake came out. Whatever Drake album. Did we do a Drake album? We did a Drake album. Right? Yeah. You know, that one was like 17 songs, right? From like 2004. It's just too long.
But here's the thing, right? If you went and you bought a CD, now let's remind ourselves, CDs were expensive as hell. That's part of what we're forgetting, right? CDs were like $25, and they came in this huge thing where you're like, wow, this is going to be so big. And then it comes out, it's like tiny. If you bought a CD and it was 30 minutes, wouldn't you feel ripped off by that?
But that's kind of goes to the record. So the other part of this, which I was going to get to, goes to the record side of things, is that people are making the same amount of money they made on vinyl as they did on CDs because of the production. You know, that's what the record companies are saying about it all. And so like that didn't help the artists at all, right? It's just helping the record companies and the people that are putting them out.
I was reading in the intro to the Booze and Vinyl book, actually, it says, in 2020, vinyl sales surpassed CDs for the first time since the 1980s. They've gone from a relic to relevant.
Yeah, I'm going to take this opportunity, public service announcement, don't buy vinyl from because it's just cheap plastic. They're trying to, go buy an actual album. It's so much better than the cheap plastic stuff that they put out.
At what store?
I didn't. Oh my God!
For you fancy cowboy hat wearing people.
They still haven't sponsored
There's
us.
different quality vinyl. I didn't know that. I thought it was all just the same stuff. Is it just heavier or what?
Maybe the vinyl, but like, I got, what do I got over here?
Listen, you know me, if it's not in a real zipper on an album and I can't unzip it and see what's underneath, I don't need it.
It's both the quality of the vinyl and the quality of the master recording. So some stuff that gets mass produced, they take it from a digital recording and then put it onto vinyl. And if it didn't come from an analog master, then you're just like, it's trash.
But also just like the sleeve it comes in, like the ones at Target are literally just 2 pieces of paper put together and they slide the album in there. Whereas you get like the actual album, right? You've got it opens up and you've got the liner notes and all that stuff, which is just so much better. And I got to believe is so much better for the artist, but I have no idea if it is.
It is amazing, isn't it, how much music quality is affected by like the size of the file. I try to, for this podcast, get FLAC files if I can, like lossless files. That's what I'm running through our little system here that we have. And it doesn't appear on the podcast because I have to mix it down so it's not a giant file but when I'm listening to it on this as a lossless, it sounds so much better than when I'm like streaming it through Amazon. I think I'm telling you guys, it's time to invest in a network drive with a backup, and you just download everything as high quality as you can and listen to it. You know what I mean?
You can't rely on streaming services. It's all going to go away.
No, it's somebody said, why do you have this? You can subscribe. And I was like, I don't want to. I want to just have everything I want all the time, which is kind of what's led to where I am in my life right now, where I just do whatever I want at all times and just worry about it later. So, so I killed that.
Gotta live a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So
I'll never
I don't know. A
change.
couple things. Buy real vinyl. Vinyl's good. Not from. Are they going to shut us down? I don't think so. I think everybody gets that. Well, good. Well, Rosie, rolling, going. How's it going with you, my friend?
It's going good. So I gave away a bit of my rolling going when you asked me what I've been listening to, because I do listen to Pharoah Sanders a lot. I listen to him if I want to celebrate something. I listen to him if I want to think about something. But he passed away yesterday. And I'm not going to turn this into a sad podcast.
No, this is the episode to do it, Rosie. This is going to be very sad.
He was 81 years old. He got his start playing with John Coltrane. Met John Coltrane, I think, in San Francisco, and he got started in Oakland. And then he played with Coltrane near the end of Coltrane's life and career. John Coltrane, near the end of John's life and career. And he's the other horn you can hear on the live Love Supreme Live in Seattle record. And then went on to play a lot with Alice Coltrane. And then his solo albums sort of spearheaded this spiritual jazz movement. So if you read his song titles, his album titles, they always have to do with love and unity and peace. And that's the kind of guy he was. But he was a ferocious player of the tenor sax. He was 81, passed away yesterday. His most recent album, Matt, I think you listened to a little bit, the one with Floating Points and the London Symphony Orchestra. It's pretty fantastic to listen to. And I think whether this actually matters or not, he died the day after John Coltrane's birthday, and he and John were, very closely entwined in life. So, that might mean something, it might not, but I listen to Pharoah a lot, and so all day yesterday I listened to Pharoah Sanders. He does have some stuff that can be harsh on the ears, so like sometimes we walk in the house and I would be like, what the hell is this? But go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, the second line of his Wikipedia page says, known for his overblowing harmonic and multiphonic techniques on the saxophone. So,
yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, he came up with sounds that no one would ever hear before. I mean, sometimes, especially like on John Coltrane's Ascension recording, he's making sounds that sound like from another dimension. And he can play really sweetly too. So he was just, I think, one of the great musicians. I saw so many great tributes to him on the internet yesterday. Someone called him the last of the greats. And so that's the first thing.
Little Rock, Arkansas. He's from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah, Little Rock, Arkansas, and then became one of the greatest jazz players of all time.
Now, do you guys ever think about, like, when you see somebody who's 81 who dies, and obviously this is the depressing episode for everybody because we're listening to the Smiths, and you just think to yourself, well, I'm 41, right? So I got another 40 years till I live as long as Pharoah Sanders. What am I going to do with all that time? Like, am I just going to sit every Sunday and watch football and then go to work and then do this podcast? Like, is this just the rest of my life for the next 40 years?
The list because I'd prefer not to waste like 20 years of my 40 doing this. Like maybe 5.
Yeah.
No.
But Pharoah was playing right up to the end of his life. So I'm very excited because I am just recovered from COVID, and I'm going to get real wild with my newfound immunity. There are 2 very small record stores in Oakland that I never went to during COVID, but now I've got a couple of weeks where I'm pretty sure I'm immune, so I'm going to go see if I can find any Pharoah Sanders records at the Groove Yard, or Contact Records in close quarters.
What if you go to the small record stores and they're literally just selling small records? Like it's a giant store, but all the records are tiny. You're like, I did not understand.
With people with really small hands fiddling, like looking through them.
Smell like cabbage.
Yeah.
Rosie, do you know where you went to college?
I don't know where he went to college.
Oakland City College.
I know he got his start in Oakland. In fact, I read an anecdote that he would come back to Oakland even in the 90s and just show up at clubs and they'd just
studied art and music.
Just jam.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah, I know he got started in Oakland.
Aaron, what other than Pharoah Sanders? Because when we go to a record store, you got to run some sort of plays. You got to run a system. What's your system? What are you looking for?
Well, I'll go in and look for Pharoah Sanders, and they'll be like, "No, he just died. Of course, there's no Pharoah Sanders records." And I'll be like, well, maybe there's an Alice Coltrane record, and they'll be like, "No, of course, like Pharoah Sanders just died. They bought up all the Alice Coltrane records."
Sounds fun so far.
Yeah, I mean, the one I'm planning to go to. Well, there are two. So the one I'm planning to go to specializes in jazz. I'm kind of interested in Coleman Hawkins. He's more of an earlier guy than Pharoah, so maybe I'll see if there's any Coleman Hawkins. The last time I went into this other one, I went specifically to pick up an Art Blakey record that they had posted on Instagram, and then that record is called Buhaina's Delight. It has Moon River on it, but they were selling for $150, so I had to like moonwalk back out of there. Like I was like, "Hey, I was looking for that record right there," and he's like, "Yep, it's a great copy." And I looked at it; it was $150, and I was like, "Thanks, I gotta go."
Yeah.
So is that one that you have to take the tag off if you bring that home and leave it on the kitchen table? Is that one like the?
Yeah, that's one that like maybe when my son is in his teens, I'll spend that much money on a record, but not with a 5-year-old in the house.
We were down in Stillwater and we went into a record store. And this lady is more of a vintage store lady. Said she had all these band T-shirts, and I think a lot of them for like reprints and stuff. But she had an original pressing of Oasis's Wonderwall. It was still in the package and everything. And she was selling it for like $200. And I'm like, God, really? $200 that thing?
It's a lot for a record, right? And then what do you do? Do you play it? Like, what if you scratch it?
Yeah, so I mean, that's kind of why I didn't buy it, because it's like, well, I want to play it, so I'll just go buy a $40, used old vintage copy or whatever, So
Aaron, you should buy that Marquee Moon. I heard it's jazz inspired.
Damn it! I don't agree.
Yeah, have you heard the last song on Court and Spark?
I like Court and Spark, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it for me. How's it rolling going with Rob?
Listen, I went to the Comedy Cellar. First of all, I want to say, Aaron, I also have COVID this weekend. But I tested myself twice. That means I have double COVID. It's actually worse. I went to the doctor.
Does it make me a bad friend when you guys texted and said you had it? I didn't show any care. Like I wasn't like, "Oh, are you?" I just ignored it.
What are you going to do about it? No, I mean, mostly it was just like, in case I can't talk, I'll let you guys know. But you can't do anything.
I was shocked when I found out it was real. I'd been listening to Aaron this whole time, and I was like, "Huh? This COVID is a real thing? What's going on?"
Scamdemic.
I went to the doctor though and took off my pants, and he said, "Well, at least you don't have long COVID." So we went to the Comedy Cellar the other day, Jenny and I and some friends, as we are wont to do. And as it was going, there was a group of, it was very funny because they were a super conservative, like frat guys, but they were chatting the whole time. Chat. And they are monstrous guys. I mean, they're like 6'4". They're huge. They're just the most giant guys. And I was like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to sit there, because I was right next to them. And I was like, I'm just going to sit here. I don't want to cause anything. And they're not like, it's not that bad, but it was distracting from the act, right?
Bedazzled pant pockets or back pockets?
No, it's like fancy, like from Martha's Vineyard. Like they would know a good place to eat in Martha's Vineyard, for example. Like it's this kind of group.
Sweater with the arms tied across the chest?
Yeah, pretty much. And so, of course, this problem is immediately solved when Jenny leans across me.
Oh, no.
And goes,
shh. Oh, this doesn't sound familiar at all.
And says, "You can't talk during the show. It's distracting," right? So I do the very brave male thing of looking straight forward. Do not acknowledge that this happened whatsoever. Meanwhile, Jenny is in front of me, like look at like eye contact with him, right? So they say, "Oh, okay," and they quiet down a little bit or whatever. When we get up to leave, the guy that she shushed gets up.
Oh no!
And he has scars on his face, fresh. He has stitches here. It was obvious that the night before he had gone out and had gotten hit in the face with like a beer mug. It was the only thing. His face looked like, I mean, he had just gotten hit with a glass last night, like a mug. It looked terrible. this is the guy that Jenny shushed. She looked at a guy and shushed, and he looked over and his face was so scarred. I was like, what the fuck, Jenny? Why would you shush? The one guy that she shushed is the guy who obviously loves to get in bar fights.
You can get him while he's down. He's probably recovering from the night before.
I was going to say, clearly you're the guy who can't take a bottle to the face. I mean, or who got a bottle to the face. So she found the weak one, right?
No, you guys are wrong about this. This guy got hit with a fucking bottle the night before and still went out the next night.
Yeah, but you're like the American champ raw lifter. Like, I've thought about this, Rob. Like, if you were to play football right now, wouldn't you just dominate for how strong you are?
If we don't have to do anything over 5 seconds long, yeah.
Could anybody push you around right now? I don't think anybody could. You're a lot stronger than I think you're a lot stronger than you.
You know what would actually hurt though? You know what doesn't matter how much you can squat is if somebody hits you in the face with a fucking bottle, which this guy learned the night before that he has to do it before somebody hits him with a bottle. I'm lucky he didn't just do preemptive strike on my face with a bottle.
Cobra Kai strikes first, right?
Oh my God. And of course that's who Jenny fucking shot. I mean, you wouldn't believe it if you saw it. This guy, I mean, literally, it's the only injury he could have had. Fresh stitches.
That's the move, though. You got to go at the toughest, the biggest badass in the group, and you got to challenge them because if they back down, they all back down. If you pick on one of the weaker ones, then they're going to gang up on you. So I think you got to aim for the biggest dog in the pack and go for that. I think she's right.
You know who agrees with you? Jenny, because she did that and then slinked away back behind me. So I was sitting there, and they all turned to look at me. God damn! I almost got my ass kicked at the comedy club.
Aaron, Matt, what would be your style? So I'm a walker, not a talker. I used to be a talker. 10 years ago, I would have certainly said something, and now I've just passed it. I don't care. I don't want to get involved in that stuff. I don't want that to ruin my night. What's your guys' style? Would you ever sit over and shush someone or not?
Yeah, life is too short. It'll be just fine. Odds are there's a Jenny in the crowd who's going to do it anyways, and let them handle it from there, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be saying anything.
They can be the bad guy and shush them and all that. And we could just sit and have fine. Yeah.
Nope, I would not be getting involved.
You know, the main reason I didn't do anything too is that there was like 8 of them. And I was like, when you get 8 college age guys going out together, they're looking for trouble. Like they're looking for any excuse.
Or at least one of them is.
Yeah. Yeah. And the rest of them might have to back that one up.
Oh my God. I mean,
the only way to approach that, right, I think would be is if you just very gently went over there and said, guys, my wife over here, she's a little hard of hearing. She's she's not all there. She really can't hear. Do you mind? I mean, just while the show's going on, do you mind just not talking as much? I mean, I really appreciate it for my wife. She's got problems.
That's very thoughtful of you.
And then bash, a bottle hits your face.
There's a Jenny in every crowd. Let them handle it. You don't need to be the bad guy.
Sometimes there's more of them out there than you think.
She's going to cause trouble.
It's time for nobody's favorite part of the show. Let's talk about the album.
What? Nobody's favorite? That's everybody's favorite part. The music part.
Aaron, this is the part my uncle skips. He literally just turned it off every week.
He's not as enlightened as he needs to be.
Maybe we should start saying goodbye to everybody. All right, well, thanks to have us around.
Rob.
I'm sure Joe from Woodbury, he hates music.
I think Brian listens to the whole thing.
Yeah. Brian and his kids.
To everybody, we're starting the music section.
Time to
say goodbye.
All right.
When you hear great music like this, why wouldn't you want to stick around and hear it? And by the way, that song that you just heard is going to be the most positive thing you're going to hear for the rest of the night. Like that was the happiest bit of music that you're possibly going to hear. We are talking about the Smiths album, their third album, I believe. The Queen is Dead. The Smiths are made up really of the guitarist Johnny Marr and the frontman, famously Morrisey, of course. And Morrisey, I'm just going to tell you right now, Morrisey is just a bit of a bummer, right? Like you always have that person at work who, when you talk to him, you're like, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot. This guy's a total bummer. That's Morrisey. Morrisey is a professional bummer. He is on the Mount Rushmore of bummers. He's on the Mount Rush bummer. Like he's the only person up there. He's
a Rush bummer.
In fact, he's such a bummer that his Wikipedia has the word forbade 3 times. Because Morrisey forbade people from doing so many things. For example, he instructed the band to never get photographed eating meat after the album Meat is Murder, right?
Well, maybe that meat looked like that package of whatever replacement meat that resembled Rob the other day.
2 weeks ago.
Impossible Beef. What is it called?
Nobody's interested in that meat whatsoever. But he picked the name, the Smiths, Morrisey, because he said, I wanted to pick the most boring name imaginable.
Sounds like somebody had some mommy issues.
Apparently, when he came on stage, he would have his glasses on and he was wearing a hearing aid, which you can imagine. I bet this is the first artist we have who performed wearing a hearing aid. And yet this band, the Smiths, is people think this is one of the most influential English bands ever of kind of like emotional rock and this is pretty much a direct kind of going the opposite of pop at the time, right? Is really being poetic, talking about your feelings.
Are they before or after The Cure, or are they contemporaries? Like who influenced who there? Okay. All right. So
what is this?
First.
Yeah. Before. But this is like The Cure was at least like, I think more poppy than this. Like I've never listened to the Smiths. I was shocked with how well recorded this is. I thought this was going to be kind of this sounds really, really, really good.
I take that back. The Cure started in 78 and they had a few bands right around this time. Okay. So they're probably,
contemporaries like sharing ideas.
The stuff that I remember from The Cure is like 84 to 87 kind of stuff. The really good stuff.
And so basically they did one more album after this, and then surprise, surprise, they broke up and swear they're never, ever getting back together. And they said that this breakup was primarily because Morrissey was irritated with the guitar player's work with other artists. And the guitar player was frustrated with Morrissey always wanting to do the same songs over and over and over, which, well, you might hear a little bit on this album. But let's get into it. The Smiths, The Queen is Dead.
Not splooting.
No, she's dead. Totally dead. Not splitting.
But it is funny because this song caused a bit of a stir when they released it. But he said, it's a double entendre because Morrissey's gay. And he says, well, I'm also the queen in this song as well. So in classical Morrissey fashion, he's like, no, the queen isn't dead. It's about me being dead. Everybody's like, oh, God, what a bummer.
I read there was a harmonium on this track. I didn't know what a harmonium was. It turns out it's a reed organ or a pump organ. And the pump organ could be a hand pump organ or a foot pump organ. It looks like an accordion.
Oh, you could foot pump it if you're into that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, once you're over 30, though, not many people are into the foot pumping.
I get it.
Yeah, you're mostly playing your own harmonium. That's what I find. Maybe if it's like your birthday, they'll be like, we'll break out the foot pump.
You got to be standing up. Yeah. So that doesn't really go for you, Rob, does it?
I did read too, like that part of it was like you didn't want to attack the monarchy, right? But he was kind of saying like, hey, we act like this is such a big deal. Everyone follows like the queen and all the, the royal stuff. And it's kind of just a joke because they're really not that important. Did you guys ever get into stuff like that or not? I know last week, Aaron, you were talking about your dad not being an Anglophile, but did you guys ever do you follow the Meghan Markle stuff? Do you follow any of this stuff?
No, and I'm actually pissed off about it. I'm sorry that you brought this up, Russell, because I've been so fucking annoyed since the Queen died that I go to look at the New York Times or I go to look at Apple News, and half the time there's Queen stuff on the front page. You guys know me, I'm not super nationalistic, but we fought an entire goddamn war so that we don't have to care about whether the Queen lives or dies, and it's all over our damn news. I'm so sick of it. Sorry, I'm done.
Patriot. When I think of Patriot, I think of Rosie.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We kicked him out, so we don't have to care.
I think there wasn't the royalty bigger before reality TV. Don't you think reality TV killed the royalty? Like the royalty was the thing where it was like, oh my gosh, Princess Di is cheating, and then the prince said, "Oh, I want to be your tampon." I had to bring it up again, but we kind of have to. And that was the hot goss of celebrities before reality TV. Now reality TV, you see people acting like crazy all the time. I mean, if I want to see Flavor Flav find a woman to date, that show exists. I don't need to hear about the Queen and all of her dogs and how all the trouble these.
I feel like it was just like TV in general, right? I mean, you didn't have celebrities before. You had presidents and Congress people, the Queen, but there wasn't movie stars and there wasn't athletes and things like that. I mean, it's just who are you going to write about? I don't know.
The fact that prince was like, I don't want to be in the royal family anymore. We're leaving. Boo hoo 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 hoo. Right? Oh, this is so hard. I'm just going to want to be a normal person. That is the same as when I saw Kim Kardashian lose her engagement ring in the ocean from Chris Humphries, that engagement ring. It's one of the funniest scenes on TV ever. It's great. She has this huge ring. She jumps in the ocean. It's gone forever. It's wonderful. It makes you laugh. That's what the Queen used to be, right? Yes, Rob, you're right. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it.
So Kim Kardashian is on the same level as the Queen.
1,000%. They're exactly the same.
I kind of agree.
Ding, ding, ding. Thank you, Russell. And frankly, Mr. Shankly, this song is bizarre.
It's like he's doing a Paul McCartney bit, right?
Yes.
No, I'm going to tell you right now, this album is an all-time college vibe album. You put this on, you are setting up a vibe. Not a great vibe, but it's a vibe. And you're sending out a message.
This is the vibe of like the three guys who have no other friends are playing this. This is not a good college vibe, I don't think.
I will say I vibed with this one today because we're recording this on a Sunday, and tomorrow I get a new boss, my 7th boss in my tenure at my job, and it did start to corrode my soul a little bit. So this one spoke to me today.
Hey, guys. This is going to be known as the depressed episode. Let's do all the depressing stuff this episode, and we'll just say it was the Smiths that caused it, Morrisey, and everybody's going to understand. That song, and just to pile on, that song described by Morrisey was the resentment and emptiness caused by fulfillment of desire and success. I mean, that's it, right? It's like, hey, I've done as well as I possibly can in life. I've done everything I want.
Now what? Yeah, what are we going to do now?
I'm going to die when I'm 81. God only knows what I'm going to do. I mean, do you think other people are jealous that we have this podcast, that we have something that we do like this?
They are, yeah. Because,
absolutely.
Yes, people are, because we're 100%. Here together with each other.
And that just goes to show how fucking dumb our listeners are, because this is absolutely a nightmare. Every time we log on, we're like...
The people who express jealousy about it to me don't actually listen to the podcast. They just think it's cool when I talk to my friends.
I read that Linda McCartney actually declined playing the piano on that song. They wanted Linda McCartney. Rob,
really?
if I were Linda and I came to you and I said, hey, Morrissey wants me to play the piano on this, Paul, what should I do? What would he say?
He'd be like, oh, Linda, the one thing you can't do is play that hand pump harmonizer because you only have one leg. Right? Was that her?
Oh.
Or was that a what?
I think that might...
Did you get blown off by a landmine or something? What was it?
Oh, no.
What?
This is the depressing episode. This is the episode to talk about this stuff.
What happened to her leg?
I don't know.
Wasn't she a photographer with only one leg? I mean, that you got to imagine, like, at least she had a ton of pictures that were sideways because she was falling over.
Horrible putter. Never read the breaks.
The average number of legs in the United States is below 2. All right. I know it's over.
I saw Greg Olson on TV today, speaking of.
That guy's got a big dick too, doesn't he? He says his dick is like a tripod.
Third leg Greg. Yeah, I saw him on TV today.
Who's that?
And that reminds me, Teddy Bridgewater got into a game. Have you guys seen his Louisville picture, right? Okay.
Sorry, I brought this up. Oh no.
Teddy Bridgewater. Penis. And don't bring up Asante Shanko.
How do you know all this, Rob?
Look at his school picture. That was him at Louisville. That's his school picture. Look at that thing. Look at it.
How did we get here again?
It's as big as the number on his jersey. Literally. If you compare it to the number of his jersey, his dong is the same size.
It looks like a towel hanging down.
It's unbelievable.
Who's Greg Olson?
He was a tight end at Miami. And
gotcha.
Yeah, he's the
announcer guy now. Yeah.
I don't even know if we're allowed to play this, but you know what Greg Olson was originally famous for?
That rap he did.
Being part of the 7th floor crew with the Miami Hurricanes. How is he not got canceled for that?
What's your name? G-Reg. What you do? Get head. How you drop my drawers and let us see my third leg?
That's a good question. That is a very good question.
I think if you go to the University of Miami, they're just like, okay, whatever. Like, it's good. Like, you're good for whatever. Don't worry about it. It's the 2 Live Crew rule. I know it's over. So just to let you know, now listen, I don't want to bum you out, but
sweet one.
The opening lyrics of this song says, "Oh mother, I can feel the soil falling over my head as I climb into an empty bed. Oh well, enough said." P.S. Happy birthday.
He is a clever wordsmith.
He's very good, I will say.
The English are in general, though.
I think you're right.
Yeah, it's a good point, man.
But I will say, like, he's got a moody voice. The songs are moody, but there is some humor to it too. Of like, it's so depressing that sometimes he knows it's over the top and like plays with that. And
What would you guys compare this to, or what does this inspire? When you hear this, like, what other bands or artists do you think of?
Well, I thought of The Cure, but I don't know.
A little Duran Duran. I mean, a little Talking
Elliott
Heads.
Smith.
A little
Crash Test Dummies?
Not crazy. I don't think that's crazy. It's the tone is kind of similar.
I just thought Russell was trolling for Rob to sing the Crash Test Dummies song.
That sings it.
Oh, yeah.
Had turned from black into bright white.
So good. It's so good.
But I do think like there's something to be said about these songs that are so outwardly depressive, and then his voice is depressing, and yet the songs are beautiful, right? Like if you're kind of hearing them through a door or something, like they're legit beautiful songs.
Yeah, I've never listened to the Smiths on purpose, but they do get played in bars and restaurants fairly frequently.
Oh my God, you got to go to some different bars, my dude. This
And
is
anytime,
depressing.
well, like Triple Rock Social Club, places like that. Like anytime I'd walk in, like, and the Smiths were on, I'd be like, oh, I like this band. This is good.
This is why I don't go to coffee shops.
What if the next song on the album was like Jitterbug? Jitterbug. You bring the bang bang into my heart. Instead, we have a song called Never Had No One Ever. And my only note for the song is just so depressing. I just wrote so depressing for this one.
Maybe like a sad REM song? I don't even know what this is like.
Well, Russell,
I think
you
of
know,
REM a little bit. That's true.
it's interesting that you would bring up sad songs.
Okay.
It kind of got me thinking a little bit like,
You were thinking.
I really don't like sad stuff, like to the point where my wife loves sad stuff. It's her favorite thing to do.
Interesting.
We were meeting new friends when my wife was in medical school, and we had these people over, and we've been lifelong friends with them. But the first thing we ever did hanging out together, first thing, is Jenny goes, hey, I got this movie on Netflix. Do you want to watch it? And this couple was like, yeah, sure, let's watch it. It was a documentary about orphans in Romania who huffed paint
What?
in the subway where they lived because they also had no home.
Oh.
And at the end of the movie, we're all crying. And Jenny's like, that was pretty good. I mean, she loves it. She's like a vampire for being sad. I can't do it. Like, because she'll say to me like, oh, I like this book I'm reading, but you like, Where the Crawdads Sing, right? She read that. She's like, you can't read it. It's too sad. I won't go see sad things. I only see comedies now, like in theater and stuff. Like I just cannot.
Yeah.
Oh, but you know, sometimes with music, listen, it's not always jitterbug. Sometimes you have to listen to some sad songs. So I was thinking, Russell.
Oh, I was going to ask real quick though, Rob. If you don't want to look at sad things, did you get rid of that full-length mirror in your bedroom?
Wow. I replaced it with a picture of Teddy Bridgewater.
I thought this was our depressing album. I thought we were
Just doing sad stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, the lower part of my body is the best looking part. So that's the full length part is that I need. You know what I need is I need a mirror that's from like my shoulders up and like the bottom of my balls down. Like that part of my body I'm thrilled with.
It's like those when the magicians would like cut people in half and they would like take their head apart, their feet apart somewhere.
Saw me in half. Those are the parts I want. Take everything else out. You know, the people getting taller surgery, I'm doing the opposite. Cutting it out, getting shorter. Love it. So Russell, I decided to think about what are the saddest songs of all time.
God.
So we're doing a list.
We were just going we were leading in on the depressing album, right?
I told you guys, it's the sad album.
Yeah, I know. All right.
Now listen, Rolling Stone had a listener poll. So I was like, hey, Rolling Stone magazine, it's what we've based our whole dumb podcast on. Let's do it. The saddest songs ever. Well, it turns out those songs were actually sad and they were about sad things. Like, I'm not even going to tell you what the number one song is because you will get too sad just thinking about it. So instead,
come on, tell us. What was it?
Was it about a middle-aged man in Minnesota huffing paint or not?
It's got to be
it's much worse, actually.
Sam Stone by John Prine, the saddest song recorded.
That's on the list, but it's not on the list.
I know. It's sad as shit.
So here's the deal is I'll tell you at the end of the episode, okay? After the song, I'm going to tell you guys, we're going to cap it with the saddest fact of all. That's going to be the big reveal.
We're going to work up to it.
Here's the deal. So I combined the Rolling Stone saddest song list with my own saddest song list. And we're going to start with a song that has made me cry. When I was in high school, I listened to the song. I listened to the lyrics. I absolutely cried my eyes out.
You cried.
This is Johnny Cash with I Hung My Head.
Jesus. Yeah.
I set off running.
And this is a song about a kid who accidentally shoots somebody, like in Cowboy Times,
Went into the sheen.
and then gets arrested and hanged for his crime.
Into the Southland.
And I was listening to this one day. I don't know what it was. I was like in my car driving, and I just cried and cried and cried. So sad. Incredible.
I know Aaron's brought this up before, but the old Johnny Cash songs are just heart wrenchers, aren't they?
No reason.
And then you hear about him growing up like in the Dust Bowl on a farm all by himself. You're like, yeah.
Listen right here. There's like this chime. Right now I'm like tearing up.
Just a killer, yeah.
It's just like, how can you sing a song and make a halfway through his life man cry? Like, that's crazy. Next up, just for Matt, listen, there's a song that the guitarist brought with him when he joined the band. He had written it as a demo. Pearl Jam. I don't know any other fact about the song, but here it is, Black by Pearl Jam. It's all about how, listen, I know you're going to be the bright star in somebody else's life. Like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, Jeremy's about a kid shooting people in his class.
Jeremy was ahead of its time.
Better man, dreams and can't find a better man, all this stuff. I mean, they sing some depressing ass shit.
Man, you think about talking about a song that's perfectly recorded and mixed, this thing sounds fucking great.
Because of my flack.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, so maybe this is a terrible idea, guys. We should not be doing this.
No, Rob,
this is
great. Let's keep it up.
Okay, so we have a classic. We have a classic.
Glad you did this, Rob.
Can I tell you that 2 of these songs I just pulled from the soundboard I have? Because, this.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
This is Aaron. Aaron and I had this was probably about a year ago where Aaron and I went off on one King of the Hill episode. But this is famous for when Bobby got gout.
Yeah.
So for me, this isn't a sad song. This is about when Bobby from King of the Hill got gout.
Oh, think about Aaron with gout.
I got gout.
Figs are piling up. His feet hurt.
And then he's going to the dance with Susie, the neighbor.
He's dragging his foot up.
He's got a rascal.
Yeah, he ate too many chicken
Rascal
livers.
doesn't work, so he's got to walk on his gout.
Too many chicken livers.
I got gout.
Think you've had too much.
I couldn't finish this list. Well, we're not finished, but the third song on here from the end. I mean, I had to go back. It's...
I hurt myself.
How can you not?
Today.
I have heard this song, songs in bars. I've heard this on a jukebox in the bar, like during the day. You're just like,
Let's go give that person a hug, right?
Yeah,
like,
right.
What the hell?
You gotta find the
The
person.
lyrics
who plays this.
are,
Help 'em
I
out.
hurt myself today to see if I could feel. The song that's so big, nobody thinks of the 9 Inch Nails versions anymore, right? This is the version that is.
See, I still love the 9 Inch Nail version. Like everybody else knows that one, but the 9 Inch Nails version is awesome. All right, we'll talk. Let's talk about some more depressing ones.
I actually haven't.
There's just
What else do you, Matt? Pull up
I haven't
some.
heard the Nine Inch
What are you
Nails
guys
version.
most depressing songs? What else?
There's one of the other songs that I listen to all the time now, and God, we can't have Rob play them, but it's Warning
put 'em
Signs by Coldplay. And I think we should pull up some lyrics. It's just depressing. About the warning signs that you're breaking up with somebody, things like that. Like depressing ass shit. Smashing Pumpkins, Siamese Dream. I mean, the whole album, I just get in a bad mood sometimes after I listen to it. I don't listen to it that often anymore. I don't know.
Just wanna make it to heaven. I just wanna make it in. Oh, I just wanna cross that river.
Listen, this is a good time for me to tell you a real life sad story I have going on.
Let's hear it.
Is-
It's a depressing episode.
Because of COVID, I had to cancel my weightlifting, powerlifting meet this weekend, which is a bummer.
That sucks. Yeah.
But even worse, it was my daughter's first powerlifting meet today.
Yeah, how did it go? How'd
And
she
this
do?
is, I want to be just like you, Dad, isn't it?
And I had to watch her over a live stream because I couldn't be there in person. It was totally just like the number 2 song, Cats in the Cradle.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Look at this sign my daughter made for my other daughter.
When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when. But
Look at that. She's never made a sign like this for me ever.
Just beautiful.
Literally, when she started, I cried at my computer.
Proud dad moment.
Yeah, man.
Cried because she didn't set like a national record, or because you
No,
were
she
proud?
says state record at the bench, of course.
Hey,
And she's only a bit away from the national bench record. But here's the deal. And I did miss one of her lifts because I was putting together a list about sad songs. And I missed her lift, and I was like, oh my God, I missed one of her lifts due to the podcast. Now, I think one of the saddest songs, though, is we have been talking about getting older. This has kind of been a Toy Story type situation where we just talk about getting older, depressing. Actually, one of the most depressing songs you can think about is there going to be a time in your life where you can ever use this song again?
Wait.
No weddings, there's nothing big coming up on the horizon. There's nothing great. So ironically, the song Celebrate by Kool and the Gang reminds you this is actually one of the most depressing songs ever.
All the fun is in the rear view mirror.
I'm going to the wedding of one of our listeners in October in Kansas City, so I will let you know if they play Kool and the Gang.
Well, I hope you don't get COVID and have to skip it.
Hey, Rob, you won't be invited to that one either. Hey, Aaron, I hope you sing and ruin their wedding like you ruined Rob's wedding, too.
I've not been invited to sing at this one. I don't know what that says about me. But
Aaron, when I get remarried, you're definitely going to be singing at my wedding, whether you like it or not. That's the way it is. So listen, this is a song, Cemetery Gates. Do you know what this song is about?
a lot of authors.
Friends hanging out in a cemetery, talking about authors. Guys, everyone is hanging out in a cemetery except for me. They're using gravefinder.com. They are finding those graves.
Find the graves, man. Hang out. Cemeteries
Kind of sounds like someone mentioned this band the other day. Bare Naked Ladies a little bit there.
There is something about his voice with the super bright guitar sound, isn't it? And like
it works.
Kind of the fun, like super fun rhythms.
Rob, you mentioned the guitar sound on this. I believe the guitar player is Johnny Marr. Is that right?
Yep.
So actually, there was another artist that we know a few years back who played a song, pulled in Johnny Marr for a song. It was Beck.
Whoa.
And the song was Milk and Honey, and he had him do these Leonard Skinner type riffs. Check this out.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's the guitarist from the Smiths?
The Smiths is playing the guitar on this song with Beck. When it comes to playing songs about things that give Rob digestive issues with people from the Smiths, who did it better?
Beck did it better.
Every time.
And I like Beck's other song called Baby Guinnesses from 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. All right. So now we have, this is the lead single. So they had not made an album for a couple years before this one. And they released this single to show them that, hey, a new Smiths album is coming out. And it's called Big Mouth Strikes Again.
Whoa.
I know how Joan of Arc felt.
I know how Joan of Arc felt.
As the flames rose to her Roman nose and hearing aid began to melt.
Rob, can you jump to the beginning of this one?
Just weird. I mean, I love the lyrics on this. It's so good.
I heard Mumford and Sons. I think there's no Mumford and Sons without this song.
Yeah.
1,000%.
No, I definitely hear that.
And I Googled to see if there was any connection, and I couldn't figure out the name of the blog, but there was definitely some sort of message board where they were having an argument over who the worst band in the world was. The Smiths or Mumford and Sons. And the Smiths were up 4-0 on the page I was reading. It votes.
No. I think I'd rather listen to the Smiths than Mumford.
What's your alias on that message board?
Yeah, Pile of Shit 3.
Meat is murder. Pile of Shit 3.
Raw is going to be depressing for you.
The Boy with the Thorn in His Side. So this one might be an upper. I don't know. Let's listen. So this was the Thorn is the music industry.
They don't all sound depressing, though, unless you listen to the lyrics, right?
No.
You just tune out the lyrics. Like, Matt's pretty good at tuning out the lyrics sometimes. They don't all sound depressing, do they?
No, not at all.
What do you think of this one, Matt? The album.
These ones feel like they're on some 1992 indie film or something, right? Like that's the background for it. So I like these ones. To Russell's point, I don't listen to the lyrics. I couldn't tell you. I didn't know the one before that. I didn't know they talked about Joan of Arc and Roman nose and all. I never listened to that. So the ones that are a little more upbeat, I'm fine with. But the ones that are dark and dreary, man, they're dark and dreary.
I'm blown away that this sounds so good. I always thought of the Smiths as like a kind of a, I don't know what, a garage band almost, but the recording of this, and that's another way I think that they're like the Cure, where it's a super clear sound and they really pay attention to having those high frequencies and low frequencies kind of mixing at the same time. A Vicar in a Tutu, I have a more silly one actually.
Kind of rockabilly, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the guitar work too. Yeah, very rockabilly. Yeah, they're very adept at incorporating different musical styles. I mean, they're, pretty talented.
I don't know, guys. This might be an album I keep listening to after this. It's kind of a vibe,
this
right?
is the type of music you listen to when you're at 41 and that you're on the back half of your life
the
and you
next
got
40
nothing to care
years.
about, right?
You can't play the horn like Pharoah Sanders, so what are you going to do with your life?
What are you going to do? Listen to the Smiths. Just stare off into space. This one is what a lot of people think is the quintessential. There's one Smiths album on the 500 list. People think this might be the perfect Smiths song. And as Aaron alluded to earlier, the lyrics, and if a double-decker bus crashes into us, to die by your side is such a heavenly way to die. And if a 10-ton truck kills the both of us, to die by your side, the pleasure, the privilege is mine.
Mine.
Can you imagine?
This Russell mentioned REM, and this is what makes me think of REM because I wait the entire album to hear this track, and then I put this one on repeat.
Yeah.
It's just like night swimming for me. It's like I don't care about the rest. I just want to get to There Is a Light That Will Never Go Out. So I love this song.
This might be one of the top 10 songs we've done on this list
This
to me.
is such a great love song. I love
this song. Listen, just listen right here.
I love this song so much.
It's so good.
What do you think of Morrisey's voice there, and how does he use his voice? It's kind of unique, right?
Yes, he has a really pure, like he's singing really beautifully here. He has a really beautiful voice. And then he has these other songs like, I think in the opening track, where he just comes off the melody entirely and doesn't seem to bother with melody. And then he does a lot with what he has. He chooses a unique way to approach each song in a way that his voice wouldn't lend itself to.
You guys will never believe what bands inspired the Smiths. If I told you that it was Velvet Underground and the Stooges, would that surprise you at all?
No.
It's like
I would have said Elvis Costello too, but yeah.
But those bands didn't have what this band does.
Bowie
for the closing track. Finally, a song about breast size. Some girls are bigger than others.
Technically true.
Have we done any other songs?
I don't understand the
weird choice for a closing track.
No, the song is great. It's about what we all want to think about. Here's the thing. Have we done any songs just about breasts? I couldn't think of any.
It's such a weird song.
It's that song about my humps, my lovely lady.
Yeah,
Did we do that one?
I think that's 115. We're going to get to it soon.
Oh,
It's just so funny where he's like, how should we end this album? I know. Listen, I got this great song. Now, I can tell you, some guys are bigger than others. And let's go back to that Lenny Kravitz clip, okay?
Rob has his list.
It's all I can think about.
You have a spreadsheet, or how do you keep track of all
dicks.
this, Rob?
It's all up here. Spreadsheet. No, wait a minute. Spreadsheet.
The patented and very popular Beck Did It Better rating system. Oh, yeah.
Listen, that was The Queen Is Dead. honestly, compared to Elton John, a favorite album because it's not a fucking double album that takes 10 years to listen to. That is a half-hour album. You get done with this album, you're in, you're out. It's great. Hey, the Smiths, they got a thing. They're very good at it. It's what all these bands are trying to do all the time. They are at 113 on the list. Okay. Kind of a sad number if you think about it, actually. Pretty fitting for them. 113, a sad number. Is that a perfect place for the Smiths? That means that they are rolling well toned. If you think this album, okay, if you would love for it and you together to be hit by a double-decker bus, okay, you're walking across the street in jolly old London town with your mates, okay, and this record, you're holding it, you're hand in hand, okay, with your tiny, tiny hands. And you're holding this tiny record. You went to the tiny record store. You got this tiny record. You're crossing the street. All of a sudden, you look to the left to see if any cars are coming. You step out. But unfortunately, you're in London. The cars are coming the other way because they're on the left side of the street. Immediately, whamp, whamp, doubled. It's twice the horns. Whamp, 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 whamp. Yeah, it's double horns because there's one guy up top also honking the horn. It's a double-decker bus. It hits you. You are in heaven. You're privileged to die that way. That means this album is a rolling bone. It should have been higher up. You love the album, okay? Or should this be lower on the list, okay? And I know what you're thinking, lower on the list. Well, that's going to be a lower number. No, lower on the list would be a higher number. We, of course, are going from 1 to 25, much like they don't do in a beauty contest. You don't see that very often where they say the number 1 and then they go all the way to the end and you find out who got last place. Would be a bummer at a beauty contest if that was you. And it's kind of something that Morrissey might sing about with the Smiths and this album, The Queen is Dead, at 113. If you don't think it belongs up there, this is a rolling groan. Okay, now, folks, we have to hurry up. We're running long, so please don't waste any time. Tell me, what do you think of The Queen is Dead at 113? Makes me laugh every time. Russell, what do you think?
I don't know. This was fine. I thought it was interesting that it was kind of bopping around. I didn't quite put the lyrics to the vibe of it. I didn't think sounded depressing through the whole thing, but the more we talked about it, it made me honestly dislike the album even more than first time around. So I thought it was fun to listen to. I can't see myself ever coming back and listening to this again, though. So I'm going to say it's rolling groan. It's too high on the list for me.
Russell, can you say that last sentence again, but make it sound like Morrissey, please?
It's rolling groan, and so I'm not going to come back and listen to this ever again.
Perfect. You nailed it.
Right.
Rosie, what do you think? Rolling well-toned, rolling boned, or rolling groan? Morrissey, The Queen is Dead.
I am always surprised at how much I enjoy the sound of the Smiths. And for this one also just kind of let a lot of the lyrics wash over me, except for There's a Light That'll Never Go Out, which I love forever. But I just don't think there's enough here musically. I think they're good musicians, but there's just not enough here that justifies it being higher than some of the stuff we're going to hear eventually. So I'm going to have to call this one a rolling groan. Groan.
Thank you. I was going to say, excuse me, I did hear Mr. Morrissey speak on that. Oh, by the way, I know what he banned. He banned anyone from ever calling him Steven because he hated his first name. That was forbade from calling him by his first name. So, Matt, what do you think? Rolling well-toned, rolling bone, or rolling groan? Morrissey and the Smiths.
I know you can forbade and I know you can forebode, but can you ever just forbide?
Oh.
Forbide?
I mean, what a small sandwich.
Again, I think this whole list is, I said it a couple weeks ago. This whole list comes for how it was influenced for the artists that came after it. I think there's a strong connection between hair metal and then this depressing ass shit that like Depeche Mode and
good one.
Echo and the Bunny and who else? Talking Heads and The Cure and all of them. You take hair metal, you take all this stuff, you put it together, and you get to my favorite stuff, grunge, right? You kind of get the deep, dark feeling stuff, but also some long, noodling solos and things like that. So I personally
long noodling
like
sounds
this
like Lenny Kravitz. Sorry.
Yeah, a little better than I thought I would. Than I thought I remembered the first time I listened to, but I think it's because I've kind of gotten into this synth pop, early rock British sound from the 80s lately. And so I don't know. I could definitely see where it came from. If this is the album that kind of kicked it off, great. I don't think it is. But, from a concept standpoint, I think this is rolling well toned. You kind of feel where everything else comes from after this.
Listen.
Well,
I'm sorry, Matt. I didn't hear what you said.
I said rolling.
I know, but
I don't know how they got. I don't know. I can't do it. I can't. Somebody else could do it. It's rolling but
It's
like
just open up your mouth,
right?
Matt, open up your mouth.
It's 155 at your place, Rob.
You guys are warriors. I don't know how
it's Rosh Hashanah tomorrow. I don't have to go to school. Open your mouth real big, Matt, and just talk from the back of your throat, and then you're talking like Morrisey.
Rolling ground.
Perfect. You nailed it. Listen. There are very few albums where Cats in the Cradle is actually one of the more upbeat songs we listened to today. Like we were kind of like, that's kind of fun. This album is a rolling depression. Okay.
Depression.
Yes. When you are in a bad mood and you want to hear somebody else who is in a bad mood, listen to the Smiths. It's going to pick you up because you're like, hey, my life's not as bad as this guy. I mean, he's a celibate vegetarian. That sounds like a nightmare to me. That sounds like the absolute worst.
That's tough.
I mean, that's rough.
That's rough.
That's tough.
Not a lot of pleasure. He is not the principle of pleasure. He's not living by the pleasure principle.
He's the opposite.
Hey, come on over. We're having leaks tonight and having no sex.
Listen. Next up. I was so excited because I swear that we were doing the first Clarence Carter album, but it's not. It's Is This It?
Oh God, is this
The
it?
Strokes.
Oh, I'm gonna have a lot to say about this one.
When you want to hear about the greatest
Aaron has talked about this one in the past.
Yeah, it's true.
but you're just too lazy to look it up online.
Do you have a joke, Russell?
If you want to hear from
I got mine.
I might need some help with it. I can try it.
Yeah, you do your joke and then I'll do my bit.
I've got the perfect podcast for you, Jack.
Beck did it better.
What do you got, Rob?
It was Tears in Heaven.
Oh,
When you want to hear about the greatest albums of all time. But
Now you gotta put the goodbye song on.
I hope this is the one my uncle stayed listening to the whole thing.
This is kind of depressing in itself.
At least give us some tuba music to go out on a high note.
Lou Reed looks at the Smiths and is like, boy, those guys are bummers.
yeah, me too.
And if it was the two of us,